And we are joined again up here by Lynn Orman, who's been co-producing with us for the last 6 months or so. I don't even know.
Almost a year.
Almost a year. See, I knew it was going to be something like that.
Almost a year.
I shortchanged you.
Keep bringing us this great musical entertainment, talent, etc.
One of the things that is going on, Cookie, is you are working with Lynn and others on this foundation.
Yes.
So we want to hear about the foundation. We also want to hear about your mom, who was this icon to us up here. We saw Koko regularly
at Biddy Mulligan's.
At Biddy Mulligan's.
Yes.
Whose stage?
Those
stage
were
was
the days.
12 inches.
And it's still
from the
empty
bar
up there.
stool.
Wow.
And I mean, Koko, it'd
Maybe
be
we'll
like
open a place.
she could order a drink at the end of a song if she wanted, and we'd get it for her, kind of thing.
Wow.
Or any of the musicians. It was quite a scene. We were very lucky to have her up this far north. And
Let's start off with talk a little bit about your mom.
Thank you. Oh boy, I could go on. My mom was mom to me, but I know to the world she was your blues queen. She was the woman that identified, she lived, she loved the blues, and through that she was able to sing them. My mother, as a lot of you may have already researched and found, that my mother's mother passed when she was 2 years old. Her father passed when she was 7 years old. So she and her 6 siblings became orphanage. They were separated and went from home to home. They're in Bartlett and Raleigh, Tennessee. And from there, they went with other family members to the state of Mississippi. She was there during the earlier parts of her life. She never had an opportunity to get an education. She never went past the 3rd grade, but she always thought that she was blessed, that she was fortunate, because she used to look back and she'd say, I'm still here. And because of the music that I loved, she left the church and started singing blues. And that she heard in Memphis, Tennessee on WDIA, listening to B.B. King and Rufus Thomas. And she said at that time, the popular women was Memphis Minnie and Bessie Smith. And one of her greatest, besides Memphis Minnie, was Big Mama Thornton. And she used to say never in her wildest dreams that she would become a blues singer and have the opportunity to share the stage with Big Mama Thornton, which was her icon. So, and then later in her career, when she became the world-renowned queen of the blues, to share the stage and tour with blues greats like B.B. King, and then came here and had an opportunity. The man that taught her how to have stage personality after she started performing and recording was the great Mr. Buddy Guy, which was a very close friend of hers when she passed, and sharing the recording studio at Chess Records. All of that started because of the great late Willie Dixon. So my mother was always a humble woman, always a grateful woman, and she was truly a humanitarian. She was always concerned about not just herself, but about the people, because she would always say, it goes beyond me, because if it weren't for them, that there would not be me. So she was always grateful, and I'm grateful to have each of you that really loved her, because without her, I truly have been lost. And this time of the year is very hard, because I said, you know, I really think my mom and God had a plan. How was it that my mother passed away during the Blues Fest? And she used to say, Chicago lives when the Blues Fest starts. That's when the city really lived. That's when the city really get to experience the true meaning of music. And Willie Dixon had a saying, the music started with the roots of the blues. So the fruit of the blues, the music is the blues. So, and she loved it. And I'm just so grateful for the great people like Howlin' Wolf and Willie Dixon and Buddy Guy that helped form the Koko Taylor. At that time, Buddy was a recording studio
She doesn't require
musician.
very many questions, does she?
Oh, I'm so sorry.
No, you're good.
That's why-
You're good.
This is great.
You know,
Just
This
go,
is good.
baby.
Let's hear it. Let's
You
hear
know,
it.
that's why I always tell people when you say talk about your mother, 15 minutes is not enough because I have a lifetime
Of course.
with this one woman that you all saw when she went from city to city, states to state, but it all started right here in Chicago. And I'm so grateful. But her career started one night because of the friendship my dad had with James Cotton. And he told my father, take Koko down. Howlin' Wolf is going to be playing. I think the club was called Club Spivey and Club DeLisi and Savio, those play DeLisi, yeah, Club DeLisi. DeLisa, okay. And my mother went to this club, and Howlin' Wolf didn't mind welcoming her to the stage. Mind you, she was an amateur, didn't even know what recording a record was or anything. And she was up singing. And as she was up singing, one of these times, Willie Dixon came in. And when she came down, he said, wow, where did that voice come from? And he said, so who are you with? And she said, I turned and said, I'm with my husband. So I guess she kind of thought maybe he's flirting with me or something. And so she said immediately, my dad stuck his hand across her chest and said, how you doing? I'm Robert Taylor. They call me Lehman, and some call me Pops. And so he says, well, you know, your wife have a great voice, and I haven't heard a voice like this since Big Mama Thornton. So who do you have a contract with? And she says, well, I don't know what you're talking about. I just go to church, and I'm here with my husband, and he loved the blues, and I love the blues. I don't know anything about a contract. So she said, he told her, well, I'm going to give you my phone number. Of course, my dad, if you knew my dad, he was all over that. He was on top of it. He took the phone number and the address. And she said, like 2 days later, Willie Dixon called her. How ironic. They were 1 block apart.
Amazing.
She was at 5328 South Prairie, and he was at 5216 and a half.
Cookie, can I ask you what
Calumet.
year was this? About?
This was in 1962.
Okay.
And in 1962, he called my mom, and they got together, and he took her to his basement in his home, and that's where it all began. And it was because of Willie Dixon that my mother went to Chess Records, and that was the beginning of Koko Taylor's career.
Cookie, we would like to talk to you for hours.
Yeah, really. Now that
But
you know where
I can
we-
talk for
I know you
hours
can.
about Koko.
And so you're coming back on this show,
Yeah, exactly.
promise?
I promise.
Well, and
Good.
we can even do some special interviews. But tell us a little bit about this foundation that got set up around your mom.
And we also remind people that Lynn was on the show a couple weeks ago and talked about the bus and
We
all that
did.
sort of thing.
Yes. Mhm.
But we do want to remind people that this is that
Right.
weekend.
It's actually it's Friday, June 7th, and it's going to be at Reggie's Rock Club, and it's Women in the Blues. You could go to womenintheblues.com or reggieslive.com and get tickets. What you'll do is you'll get a wristband. You'll meet us at the Koko Taylor Foundation Celebrity Aid Foundation booth at Chicago Blues Festival, and you make a donation online at Reggie's, and you'll get on the bus with us. Cookie will be on the bus with us. There'll be trivia questions about
on the
Koko.
bus.
Get on the bus. And there'll be trivia questions, and we'll be giving away some prizes if you can answer them right. And I just want to say also, please visit the new Facebook page, which is the Koko Taylor Celebrity Aid Foundation on Facebook, and you can find out more information.
Let me just ask both of you, or either one, to answer in our final couple moments of this segment. My understanding is that the Koko Taylor Celebrity Aid Foundation helps to do social services for people in the arts and entertainment community who are in need of help.
Yes.
Is that what it is? 'Cause
Yes.
I know my mom was involved with the Episcopal Actors Guild, and there were a lot of old
Same
actors
thing.
needing help. And I was really taken by this. So briefly, can you tell us what the foundation is doing now? How long has it been around?
Well, it was founded in 2002, and in 2006, we were graceful to have people like the late Bo Diddley, Kenny Wayne Shepherd. My mother befriended so many people. The Temptations and the rock group Styx, and it's just been so many people that have blessed us with their talent to help raise monies for the Koko Taylor Foundation. But my mother started it. It started because of an accident that she was involved with. Even though she had insurance, all of her musicians, some was severely injured, and there was not enough money to take care of these musicians' medical bills. And this was back in 1989, if you all can remember, in Chattanooga, Tennessee. They called it Lookout Mountains when my mother's van went over the cliff.
Yowza.
And those musicians was the late Vince Chappelle, and the late Eddie King was her guitarist, and Bay Williams was on bass. It was quite a few of them. And my father passed away that March as a result of it. He never recovered from his internal injuries. So there were so many musicians like Kim Wilson and just so many that reached out to help my mother with a fundraiser, and those funds were specifically used to help take care of those musicians' medical needs. Then, as you all know, later, my mother's band, we were fortunate to not have been on it, but my husband and her band was in an accident, and as a result of that, all of her musicians were ejected, as well as my husband, from this vehicle. And you find so many musicians that don't have insurance, as well as those that pass away doesn't even have burial insurance. And she would find herself going in her pocket trying to help these families bury their loved ones. And so that was really important to her, to help the musicians and their families, as well as to educate the musicians about this industry. And she really had a heart for the children and for the women in the blues. And so Lynn Orman is on our board now, and our vice president, Michael Frank of Earwig Records, is on our board now to help make certain that this great music can stay alive, but yet let's keep these musicians healthy.
Koko Taylor's Celebrity Foundation. Okay, we're going to keep you here.
Okay.
And we're going to bring Corky Siegel up. Corky, come on up.
Oh, yeah.
I think there's a real proud mama up there.
Yes.
Watch out for this
Koko.
stage.
Cookie and Corky.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And Katie.
Say that 3
And Michael.
times. And Katie, say that 4 times.
We would like to introduce our good pal, Corky Siegel.
Our neighbor. Yay,
He's our
Corky.
neighbor. He eats here.
Neighbor.
And I first saw him perform in the spring of '66 in Lincoln Park at one of the first Love-Ins. I think that's the right day, wasn't it? I think John McDonald was in the house. He was there.
And we're all still in love.
We're all still in love. Hallelujah.
I remember sneaking into the side of the stage at the auditorium at the skyscraper at Mundelein College, where I was a Mundle Bundle. Is
Well,
what they
to see
refer
Siegel
to us
Schwall?
now. To see Siegel Schwall playing their hearts out.
I just wrote something that maybe it was on a Facebook blog about how I owe my musical life to all the blues masters. And you know, here's Cookie sitting right next to me.
Yeah.
Koko Taylor and
all those names she
I
just
was
Well,
very close with Coco.
I got to
loved
say,
her
one
very
of the
much.
big influences on me in my life was as a young guy. I did see James Cotton and Muddy Waters. I got a wonderful picture I took of them. But I remember going to Big John's in Old Town and seeing Butterfield Blues Band, and then they moved down to down to 39th and Drexel, to the Blue Flame.
Right.
And, you know, then the next thing you know, they came out with the Butterfield Blues Band. And I understand there's a new movie out that I think you're in that sort of celebrates that period. Younger, some white guys, some African-American guys, women too, maybe getting involved. Tell us a little bit about this flick.
Well,